Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025, the year BSV comes alive. Experience the best of both worlds today at betbitcoinsv.com, the best casino and sports betting on chain. Have a little flutter in private using the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, I've got the man on the ground with me today, Riley Cyrus, and we're just going to be going through some of the posts here on social media. So we've got breaking news from Watcher Guru saying President Trump officially pardoned Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. Or Ulbricht, however you want to call it. So we've got articles here on that from Cointelegraph, AP News. We've got a letter here from Rand Paul on the Jan 21st asking Donald Trump to actually pardon Ross Ulbricht. We might have here like Ross Ulbricht leaving prison after 10 years. Like, whoa. We've got Donald Trump just taking questions about his Trump token, saying he doesn't really know too much about it. A post here from Toby Cunningham saying, talking about a Trump get out free card if you buy the token or something like that. Jacob King talking about the launch of a new crypto task force. They're going to be inept as usual. Reporting from the World Economic Forum, we got Prince of Spain. Larry Ellison talking about surveillance state. Tornado Cash. Saying the US court overturns Tornado Cash sanctions. We've got BSV blockchain at the Davos conference. A little bit 365 days of history, and then we'll go through the figures as per usual. Right, let's get into it.
Be Satoshi, like a cowboy in the West, riding on the blockchain that they call the very best. 1 million strong, them transactions flying free. Just wait for the terror node, you'll surely see.
Right, there we go. Riley, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, mate. All right, so what do you make of this? Breaking, President Trump officially pardoned Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. After all this time, what do you think?
That is, well, he did say, or there was rumors saying that if he gets sworn in again as president, he was going to pardon him. So it's nice to see that he's sticking to his word.
Yeah.
And I could only say that that is bullish for the space in general.
It is, yeah. Have you got any opinions on the whole Silk Road saga?
Well, I listened to the true crime audio files a couple of years ago, and the story it's quite it's a remarkable story. If anyone hasn't listened to it, I suggest go and listen to it. It's like 5 or 6 part.
Yeah.
And it's an unbelievable story. It's almost like this can't be real. This must be made up, you know. I don't really know whether he should have been in jail. You know, I really couldn't say. I know he kind of splits opinion. He made a platform and he allowed people to use his platform, and people used the platform for various things, and basically he was the fall guy. There was something about a hit on somebody and somebody faked a murder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The story is it's a crazy story. It is, and they try to use it to sabotage Bitcoin, saying, "Oh, Bitcoin's used for this and Bitcoin's used for that." But at the end of the day, US dollars used for the same thing. You know,
it is. It is. The banks facilitate all the crime in the world. It's outrageous.
And, well, all the drug cartels they trade in US dollars. I believe they've started trading in USDT now as well. And I know that for a fact actually. But like people are gonna use it for good and bad. Like you can't really stop that, can you? Not in the current way it is. Like with such an opaque system, there's no way of stopping that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say criminal behaviour is criminal behaviour. The fact that, you know, I mean, because they were also doing it on the Onion on Tor, you know, and it was the US government that created the Tor network, but you know they seem to have gone after the medium of exchange that they were using, and then blaming it on Bitcoin, and also from what I heard. In terms of how they went about getting Ross Ulbricht's I think to do with the server that the Silk Road was hosted on, in terms of the Tor network, how they went about getting that. They pretty much broke the sort of like, I think it was like First and Second Amendment, or like, where somebody's a right to privacy. So
Yeah, that will have.
there's kind of like, there's two sides to every story. One, I think Ross was set up for entrapment, because
Yeah,
there's two sides to this. It's kind of like, well, he was purposely set up and put in a position to squeeze him so that he would react to a situation, but the situation wasn't real. So you're kind of like back to the Minority Report situation, where you're getting people done for crimes that they haven't actually committed yet. And the feds didn't say, oh, by the way, we're going to entrap you. They didn't give you any details whatsoever and say, oh yeah, we're faking all this information that we've got to you in order to put you into a situation where you might take the bait and do something that is illegal. And there is no excuse for that. But the fact is, that situation wasn't real. It was set up by the FBI, like in order to entrap him. So it's not to say that he wouldn't have done that, in another situation that was legitimate, but the fact is that situation was not. So you cannot judge him on a situation that isn't legitimate. So they blatantly set him up. I mean, I don't agree with how he how he reacted to it, but the fact is he was stitched up.
Do you think they just did it to just seize all the Bitcoin?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they did. I think they used him as a scapegoat, and then obviously they wanted to just promote the fact that he had all this Bitcoin, and that Bitcoin was going to be used as drug money, and blah 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 blah. Just completely ignoring how the US dollar facilitates all the world's financial crime. I mean, it's just. Yeah, I would say he was set up as a scapegoat, and the 2 life sentences that he was given, just goes to show you what a mockery the system is, when President Trump can just come in and go, oh, sorry, mate, there you go.
Yeah, true.
And it's literally just like, it's just a matter of opinion. Personally, I didn't agree with the 2 life sentences that he got at all. When you look at the family background that he's got and how smart he is, he was wasted just rotting in prison.
Well, maybe Trump's got him out to be some kind of a Bitcoin advisor for him.
That would be interesting. I wonder if he can see all the... I mean, he's a smart kid. I wonder if he can see all the shenanigans and the fraud of SegWit and all this shit.
How long was he in jail for? 12 years?
Oh, yeah, it must have been about that. Because I think it was 2015 was the... Yeah, 2015 was the actual the Silk Road trial, and we're now 2025. So that was 10 years, and he would have been in jail he would have been rotting in jail for his court case to actually start years before that. So, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, probably 12 years he's been inside.
So if he was in Bitcoin from the early days, I wonder what he thinks of it now.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll be like Vinnie Lingham, because Vinnie Lingham was using it for his gift cards, and it was just like, look, there was nothing wrong with this until Blockstream came in and effed it up. It was literally a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, as it says in the white paper, and now it's just an absolute load of tosh.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been playing about doing some microtransactions today, actually.
Good responses from that.
Well, the smallest one I was able to do was 1 to the power of -8, which is 7 zeros after the decimal place and a 1. Wow. And it equates to a value of 6 zeros after the decimal place, $52. Yeah, and that was on the Senti app. That was the smallest I could do.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, I just started doing a few microtransactions here and there.
Ding and dongs, that's what we used to call it.
Yeah, Rock Wallet was capable of doing 6 zeros after the decimal point.
Oh wow.
So that was just one little zero behind. But
That's
yeah, it's
ironically, that's massive for like, to be
I
able to do
know.
such a small micropayment. My goodness.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to go through, but yeah, it went through. And then I did it like multiple times, and it went through every time.
That try doing that on any other shitcoin. Like
Well, I
absolutely
know
no chance. No
it's it's
chance.
it's actually unbelievable when you think about it. Unbelievable. I got a taxi today. I was speaking to a taxi driver, and I said, "Do you want promissory notes or do you want a card?" And he said, "Oh, it makes no difference to me." And I said, "I thought you got charged a percentage on the card machine." He went, "Yeah, it's only 1.5%." I'm like, "What? 1.5%?" Like, so he's giving like 15 pence away in £10, and he didn't seem to care. I don't know. Don't know what's wrong
Cheap.
with people. I paid him in
Yeah.
promissory notes anyway.
Did you? Well,
Yeah,
he'll learn the hard way because those promissory notes are only ever going to go down in value.
yeah, very true. Very true.
Right. Well, I'll just read this article here. We've got on Cointelegraph. Trump pardoned Silk Road creator as Silk Road creator Ross Ulbricht. US President Donald Trump has followed through on his promise to pardon Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the online drugs market Silk Road, who was imprisoned for over a decade. US President Donald Trump has given a full pardon to Ross Ulbricht, who has been in prison for 12 years for founding the defunct darknet marketplace, the Silk Road. Quote here, I just called the mother of Ross, William Ulbricht, to let her know that in honour of her and her libertarian movement, which supported me so strongly, it was my pleasure to have just signed a full and unconditional pardon of her son, Ross, Trump said on a Jan 21st post on his Truth Social platform. The president added that Ulbricht's sentence of 40 years plus 2 life sentences was ridiculous. I would say that's kind of reasonable. Ulbricht was arrested in 2013 and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2015 for his role in the operation and creation of Silk Road. Freeing Ulbricht was one of Trump's many promises to the crypto community during his presidential campaign, with the businessman pledging to pardon the Silk Road founder on his first day in office if re-elected. That's pretty great that he's actually followed through on that. Several
Yeah.
Bitcoiners had earlier expressed frustration with Trump for not following through on his promise to pardon Ulbricht on Jan 20th. Trump instead pardoned around 1,500 people involved in the US Capitol attack on Jan 6, 2021. US Senator Ron Paul had also called on Trump to pardon Ulbricht in a Jan 21st letter just hours before the president announced the pardon. Paul noted that Ulbricht, whose online black marketplace used a Bitcoin for payments, received a far harsher sentence than many users such as Matthew Vernon Jones, who ranked in the top 5% of drug dealers on the site, and received 6 years in jail. Some reports previously suggested that Trump was sympathetic to the Free Ross campaign and had considered clemency for the Silk Road founder in 2020. So why did Bitcoin supporters advocate for Ulbricht's release? The crypto community has long called for Ulbricht's release for various reasons. Some questions Ulbricht's key role in the Silk Road, urging that he didn't deserve to die in prison or for contributing to a marketplace where users could freely exchange goods, both legal and illegal. Others called him a Bitcoin legend due to his early contribution to the Bitcoin market. Yeah, it's quite a good article there actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, while Ulbricht did not deny his involvement in Silk Road operations, he repeatedly contested allegations that he was the sole person in charge of the original creator of the platform. Yeah. I mean, I do remember. In terms of my gut feeling, I think it was the right decision. 12 years is a long time. AP News has also reported on it, saying Trump pardons founder of Silk Road website.
Do you think he's got a stash of Bitcoin somewhere?
I hope he has. I mean,
Yeah.
just the fact that he was kind of like pioneering the use of Bitcoin, really. And
Yeah.
it was just a marketplace. He
Yeah,
wasn't, and people could list what they want. And they initially, when he started it, he had a code. It's just like, look, we're not going to do child porn. We're not going to sell guns and all that kind of stuff. But people generally sort of like started listing more and more heavier stuff. But I think it was the feds really that kind of like fired him up because there was another online drugs market that started up. I suspect it might have been the feds that actually started that. And then that sort of like got him in competition with another website to list more products. And obviously people were going to start using the website that they trusted more, the one that allowed them to actually do more. But I mean, Silk Road. What a fantastic name as well. It was just
Yeah, it is a good name, isn't it?
everything about it. The Silk Road, and it was just meant to be for, what sort of like synthetic substances and stuff like that. I mean, it did
Well,
sort
like
of
psychedelics and things.
yeah. I mean, it did.
Yeah.
There were stories of like mothers opening up CD covers and finding, you know, crystal meth in there and stuff like this. Personally, though, I think if you try and ban something, you're just simply going to push it underground, and then it's going to be unregulated, and then you're going to get all kinds of people, involved in it. Prices are going to be high. There's going to be sort of blackmail. I think everything should be regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there needs to be a balance.
Yeah, if you did regulate drugs, I think there'd be a lot less drug addicts to worry about, and there'd be a lot less crime.
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot less violent crime as well.
Yeah.
And I think there would also be more education about on what these substances did. How much was overdoing it. It'd be like alcohol. Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows when you've had too much to drink. And normally it's your mates around you. It'd be like, mate, you've had a bit too much already. Do you know what I mean? Time to go home, quit it, blah, 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 blah. I think the more you make a big deal of it, the more extreme people's behaviours become.
Yeah, I agree. I can't believe he's let him out first day in office. Just needs to release the Epstein flight log now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that's ever going to come out. My goodness. Like, whoa. I mean...
Because he said he's going to release it.
Well, do you know, I think there was somebody else who had actually pretty much released the Epstein flight logs because they could work out who was and who wasn't actually on it. They were just like, look, it's easy to figure out. We don't need them to release the official list because it's obvious who was there. But again, it's just the mainstream press covering all this shit up.
Yeah,
because
it's quite funny, isn't it? Because Ghislaine Maxwell got the biggest sentence ever for trafficking children to nobody. Who was she trafficking the children to?
Yeah.
It's like how they've managed to get away with that is beyond me. It
just goes to show you how corrupt the entire system is that we're dealing with. But it's Bitcoin that's going to expose all of this, and that's probably why they're fighting to not have it, because the world will be a better place when it runs on Bitcoin.
Certainly will. It certainly will. All we need is to fix the money. We have a true, honest money, and everything else will fall into place. Yeah. And it'll be instantaneous. Like if we just stopped using our promissory notes and got off the fiat system, if everybody just stopped using it, then it's done. Because that system's broken. It's only a matter of time before it collapses. I think they're just waiting to find a new system that they can co-opt and take over and say, oh, this is the new system now. And I think that's probably what they're trying to do with CBDCs. But the CBDCs is just the same as the old system.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's just exactly, they're the people in charge. And if they do try that, I think they will try that. If they do try that, it will work for a short while, and then the people will be like, no, this is a rubbish system. It's exactly the same as the old system. And then that'll fail too. So all roads lead to Bitcoin. It's the only system that can do what they need to do. There's only one way to commoditize data, as you so eloquently put it.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, because it will happen. It has to happen. Like, we can't just break down, we've got no system, what do? We go back to barter. People say, oh, we'll use gold and silver. Well, how are you going to use physical gold and silver?
Yeah.
You still need a system to run it on.
Yep.
So I see no other way how it can't just it's just going to be all ran on BSV, the original Bitcoin.
Yeah, yeah, and also, even the drugs market. The fact is, when people are using Bitcoin, because people are actually competing for the Bitcoin that's in your pocket, because it's that Bitcoin that's going up in value, even the quality of any narcotics or drugs is going to be improved because they're competing on quality of everything. It's value for money. How can I
Yeah,
give you better value for money? So instead of diluting, anything that they're making with, just bulking agents and
yeah,
shit, you're actually going to get a good product, and you're not going to get shit like rat poison and all this other like and sawdust.
mm,
That they use it to try and increase profit margins by selling a substandard profit. And now
yeah,
they're not going to need to do that because they're just like, well, actually, if you produce a substandard profit, you get maybe one or two sales, and nobody's ever going to use you again. And you actually want the Bitcoin that's in people's pockets because that Bitcoin is going up in value
yeah.
so far. So it literally has rippling effects across the entire economy. Whether it be the black markets or the white markets. It does make a difference. The economic effects are the same. People are competing to give you better value. It flips literally the entire motivational and economic incentives that we're currently experiencing on its head, where people are trying to
Yeah,
rip each other off. You
yeah.
don't get that anymore because with Bitcoin, you try and encourage everybody into the economy.
Hmm. Like people these days, they don't want to do anything. They don't want to work. They want something for nothing.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit like what you're saying there. When I, I don't really want to talk about drugs, but you get shit drugs and like they taint them with something else.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like kind of similar to what the Romans were doing when they started clipping the coins. You know,
It wasn't.
like
I know. Yeah, it wasn't the Romans. It was the it was the JEWS that were doing that.
yeah, but like they start clipping it so it becomes less and less, and
Yeah.
after a while, people say this money's no good, and like this the same with a shoddy drug dealer. They say these drugs are no good. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
yeah, we just need to start using it. The more people that use it, and Craig says this all the time, you need to use it, don't hoard it. Like if people are using it and it's ubiquitous, then it's it's game over. That is the new system. If everybody's using it, then it's game over. And everyone can use it because it's so easy to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like it literally, you send a micro transaction, you go on what's on chain, and it's there, it's already there.
Yeah.
Like don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, it's unconfirmed, but once it's on the blockchain, whether it says unconfirmed or not, it's it's never going to revert. You know, it's there. It'll take I don't know however long it takes, but once it's on the blockchain and you can see it on what's on chain and it says unconfirmed, you know that it's good to go.
Yeah. 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 Because on genuine Bitcoin, it's already been assigned a digital signature and a hash number, linking it to another bit of data.
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
literally just goes in the block. It's not like replaced by fee, which probably could only really work when they'd remove the digital signatures. Because once you remove the digital signature, that bit of data has not been assigned a hash number. It's not linked to any other bit of data. You're literally waiting for it, and then you're just like, right, we're just going to get these douchebags competing with each other to see who's going to pay the highest fee to get their transaction confirmed. And if they don't ever pay the higher fee, the transaction might not ever be confirmed because it's just simply going to cost them too much. So therefore,
yeah,
you've just got the memory pool just filling up forever. It's such a
yeah.
BS system that they've created over at BTC. It just
I know.
annoys me that people, well, I mean, obviously they've done it on purpose, stealing the ticker symbol because people are like, well, it's BTC, it's Bitcoin. It's like, oh my God, give me a break.
But I can't like I can't understand why they've done that with BTC because they know that BTC is good for nothing, and they can scream store of value and digital gold all they want, but in the end, that'll only last so long. They know it is useless as
Yeah.
cash. It's useless as cash. It's useless as anything other than number go up,
Yeah.
the greater
Ponzi
fool
scheme,
theory.
yeah.
Yeah. Sailor scheming. Um, well, that's all it is, isn't
Sailor
it?
scheming, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And and you speak to people now and they're saying, "Oh, well, Michael Saylor's buying it, so it must be good." And I'm like, "Well, what did Michael Saylor do 25 years ago when the dot-com bubble burst?" You know, like
Lost the shirt off his
his,
back.
history like doesn't always repeat, but it often rhymes, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And
That's a
when he
good
goes
one.
on, like sits there and he does like a 2 minute monologue, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is not going to age well for you. And I'm watching it. I'm thinking, he actually believes himself, doesn't he? He believes what he's coming out with is true.
Well, he's
And
smitten with the white paper, mate. Totally smitten
but
with it. He has
yeah,
no
but
idea about the politics behind the scenes.
a lot of what he says though, he loves Satoshi.
He
He loves
does.
Satoshi.
Yeah, yeah,
He compares Satoshi to a god.
yeah, yeah.
He talks about millions of transactions. You know.
Talks about big blocks as well.
Yeah, and I don't know. Like, but up until a few months ago, I'd never heard him say BTC, but he said BTC many times now. So
Yeah. Oh well, he's going to learn, right? We've got another post here from Vinnie Lingham with regard to Donald Trump. I'll just play this quickly. It's a 23-second clip so everyone can hear it. Here we go.
I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
You made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
That's really funny. So in that clip there where Vinnie Lingham says that I don't think he knows what actually happened, like literally Donald Trump, he's literally got a genuine look on his face when the reporter says to him, "Oh, you made a lot of money." He's like, "How much?" He literally has no clue, and he goes, "Several $billion," and then Trump just like makes a joke out of it, saying, "Oh, that's peanuts for these guys back here." But like literally. Donald's there, like, you know, how much? He literally hasn't got a clue. Not a clue.
well, they always say your face can't lie, and that's not a face of someone who knows what's happened.
Yeah.
You know, like he doesn't know what's happened there. Definitely not. I can't for the life of me understand why they decided to launch these meme coins, but I don't think Donald Trump is fully aware of what's happened. He's 78-year-old. What does a 78-year-old man know about internet funny money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not a lot. Yeah, I mean, imagine just like having to ask a reporter, you made a lot of money. Really? How much?
40 billion. He didn't even
Brilliant.
He didn't even bat an eye. He just said, "Oh, it's nothing compared to Elon Musk," and I'm guessing it's Jeff Bezos sat next to him. You know.
Yeah. Still alright though, isn't it? You know, on a meme coin. But I mean, have you got any background news on how Solana coped with it, or did it fall over again?
I heard a rumor that it just crashed.
Yeah. I think I heard Kurt say that.
I tried to look into it, but their Solana chain's not really very.
Oh,
Well, maybe it's because I'm not used to it, but it didn't seem very transparent to me.
it's a joke, mate. It's completely centrally controlled by those goons over in Silicon Valley.
Well,
It's
it's proof
such
of
a
stake
joke.
anyway, so
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. Oh
Yeah,
my God. But anyway,
I know.
worth laughing at, right? We got Toby Cummings here saying, Trump get out of jail free card. He said, when you buy the Trump coin, you waive your right to class action lawsuit. If you try, they'll make you pay their legal fees. Read the fine print, folks. So there's a class action waiver here saying, to the extent permitted by law, you agree that you will not bring, joint or participate in any class action lawsuit to any claim, dispute or controversy that you may have against any of the covered parties. You agree to the entry of injunctive relief to stop such lawsuits or to remove you as a participant in the suit. You agree to pay the attorney's fees and the court costs that any coveted party incurs in seeking such relief. This provision preventing you from joining or participating in a class action lawsuit. 1. Does not constitute a waiver of any of your rights or remedies to pursue a claim individually and not as a class action in binding arbitration as provided above. And 2. As an independent agreement, you may opt out of these dispute resolution provisions by providing written notice of your decision within 30 days of the date that you first access the website. So that's actually quite funny. So they're saying, right, well, you're actually going to agree to these terms and conditions before you purchase the token.
Yeah, well, I
that's
think
quite clever.
Now, having read that, like one of my friends in Ireland, Tony, he's got a theory on this, and he's big, massive Trump fan, and he's been into the Q movement for a long, long time, and he says that Trump says, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what's good and what's bad. I have to show you. So he thinks that Trump launched this meme coin on the Solana network to show that the Solana network can't work. And he said, and then he will eventually migrate to the original Bitcoin, BSV, and say, there you go, guys. He has to show you. He can't just tell you. And but I think that class action waiver that you've just read out there, I think that might be a big FU to the SEC because Trump got in, what was it, yesterday or Monday? Monday, and Gary Gensler officially resigned on Monday. So
did he?
That just looks like a big FU to Gensler and the SEC. Yeah.
Dear, oh dear. Well, that's going to just like open the door to more Ponzi scheming.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what happens. Jacob King has said here, breaking, the SEC has launched a new crypto task force aimed at establishing a clear regulatory framework for the crypto industry. Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't seen this. No.
The SEC Crypto 2.0 acting chairman Udia announces formation of new crypto task force. So this is on Jan 21st. Drawing from the talented staff across the agency. I mean, talented staff across the agency. Give me a break. The task force will collaborate with commission staff and the public. The public, as if the public don't want Ponzi scheme and they're loving it at the moment. To set the SEC on a sensible regulatory path that respects the bounds of the law. To date, the SEC has relied primarily on enforcement actions to regulate crypto retroactively and reactively, often adopting novel and untested legal interpretations along the way. Clarity regarding who must register and practical solutions for those seeking to register have been elusive. I mean, it's because no one knows the difference between a commodity and a security, let alone a digital one. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
The result has been confusion about what is legal, which creates an environment hostile to innovation and conducive to fraud. Yeah, no shit there. The SEC can do better. The task force focus will be to help the Commission draw clear regulatory lines, provide realistic paths to registration, craft sensible disclosure frameworks, and deploy enforcement resources judiciously. The task force will operate within the statutory framework provided by Congress and will coordinate the provision of technical assistance to Congress as it makes changes to the framework. The task force will coordinate with federal departments and agencies, including the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, and state the international counterparts. Quote here, I look forward to the efforts of the Commissioner Pierce, led by Regulatory Policy on Crypto, which involves multiple SEC divisions and offices, said Acting Chair Udesa, or is it Udia? This undertaking will take time, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, patience, and much hard work. Oh my, I mean, it's going to take a few more brain cells than what they've got. It will succeed only if the task force has input from a wide range of investors, industry participants, academics, and other interested parties. We look forward to working hand in hand with the public. But the public doesn't know F all. They're regulators. They're meant to know all this stuff. To foster a regulatory environment that protects investors, facilitates capital formation, fosters market integrity, and supports innovation, stated Commissioner Pierce. Maybe I should just write to them.
the talk about protecting investors here, right? I bought Veritasium like 7 years ago, I think it was, and the SEC shut them down because they said it was securities fraud and we're protecting the investors and blah 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 blah, and they didn't give one penny back to any of the investors. You know, it's honestly, it went on for years, and they said, "Oh, we're protecting the investors, and we're protecting the investors." There was a big lawsuit and that, and they didn't give one penny back to the investors. They don't care about us. They don't care about me and you. You know, they don't care about the general public.
So what did they do?
What with the court case?
Or I mean, did they literally confiscate the tokens or something?
Yeah, yeah. They took all his technology off him. It was lawfare. He couldn't afford to fight them anymore. They took all his tokens off him. They took all his technology off him, and then they put a big banner at the top of coinmarket.com saying Reginald Middleton has been charged by the SEC, blah 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 blah. But he never admitted to any wrongdoing. The case was dismissed, and he never admitted to any charges. But he had to pay the fine, and he had to give him his technology, and 98 million tokens were confiscated. Yeah, and that's the SEC. That was the SEC protecting the investors.
That's scandalous.
Oh,
Absolutely
unbelievable.
Scandalous.
Unbelievable. Yeah, you couldn't write it like. To be fair, it'd be nice if you could get him on your show to tell you the story. However, he doesn't like talking about it because I think he's so scared of getting sued again. He just doesn't like talking about it, you know. But the story is terrible. I'm sure one of the guys from the DAO would be willing to come on. I'll message one of them, see if they would come on one time and explain it to you, because obviously they can't sue him, you know, but they can sue Reggie.
They probably wouldn't like my point of view though, because it was absolutely a security offering.
What it was, it was prepaid services for software and the use of the platform. That's what it was.
So it was selling membership basically.
Yeah. And by the way, you had to sign before you could partake in the IPO. You had to sign that you were well aware of this fact as well. There was a disclaimer. Obviously Trump's made a disclaimer there. I don't think anyone will have had to sign, but for Reggie's Veritasium offering, you had to sign this disclaimer, so everybody was aware, and then they shut him down anyway.
No way, that's overreach.
Yeah, I know. So this is what I mean. So they've done that to Reggie and Veritasium. They've done everything they possibly can to Craig and BSV. That tells me one thing: we are in the right place, you know.
The regulators haven't done anything to Craig.
Well, not the regulators, but how many court cases he had to fight?
Well, yeah, but I mean, they were caught. That was just personal, where Pete McCormack was calling him a liar and a fraud, as was Hodler. There was the court case over the copyright of the white paper, which Craig rightfully won.
Well, look at the BTC maxis. Like BTC is over 100k and BSV is like $50, and all they want to do is talk about BSV. You know, there's obviously a reason for this, isn't there? They don't talk about BCH, and BCH is nearly 10 times the price of BSV. You know, they go after the people that they're afraid of.
Yeah, I'd completely agree with you. Like I've said this many times. Yeah, what is your issue with a token ranked down at number 80 in the crypto market cap? Yeah, what's your problem? What's your problem? What do you feel as though it's a threat to you? It's number 80. I mean, literally, it's buried underneath a pile of shitcoins. You know,
crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely insane. Yeah, but we obviously know why that is.
Yeah.
Right, I've got some videos here from a concerned citizen. We're just going to listen. This is 2:13 clip from the World Economic Forum. We'll just have a quick listen to this.
I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity.
So that's the Spanish MP Pedro Sanchez at the WF Davos 2025. Again, going on about wanting digital ID for people to use the internet. I don't agree with that at all. But again, another WEF puppet. And then we've also got Larry Fink here as well. Oracle's Larry Fink says citizens will be on their best behaviour with an AI surveillance system. Again, another scumbag. Absolute scumbag. Just simply wanting to entrap everybody.
Well, this won't be lawful. This won't be lawful, will it?
Yeah, certainly not lawful. And also the fact that they're trying to link digital IDs to people's biometrics. I mean, like, what gets me is the fact that they're going around getting all this facial recognition. My question to them would be, do you have a medical license? What right do you have to store people's medical records, which are their biometrics? It does my head in. I can't wait for these people to get a comeuppance, because I'll be the first one sticking my boot in, if BSV takes off.
In the UK now, there's a lot of fight back. There's a group called Rapid Response on Telegram.
Oh yeah, I know.
And they are basically, the banks are repossessing either old women or single women's homes because they've missed a payment or whatever, or they're trying to challenge them because they're saying the mortgage is fraudulent. So they're sending the bailiffs around and they are repossessing the homes. And this group, Rapid Response, are really, really clued up, and they're coming back round and they're repossessing the homes, taking control of the homes. The police are turning up. They're teaching the police what the law is. The bailiffs are turning up. They're basically telling the bailiffs to go and get knotted because you've got absolutely no right to be here at all. You're acting, you're coming here under false pretenses and everything. These people are clued up and they're getting bigger and bigger. And we need more people like them, like waking up, because it needs all of us to do it. It's a numbers game. It needs, like with BSV, we need to start using it as much as we can. And with these people fighting the laws, the same with the farmers, we all need to stick together. Because if you fix the farmers with the food, and you fix the rapid response with the law, and we have a right, honest money, we might just well have a nice country and a good world.
Yeah, the only thing with that rapid response is that I know infiltrators that are already in it, literally undercover coppers.
What, in the group?
Yeah, bastards.
Oh, right, okay. But they honestly, they're clued up. They know more than the coppers, far more. They're switched on.
Yeah, they are. It's just honestly, mate. I know who the undercover cops are in that group.
Really?
And, yeah, mate. Yeah. Absolute bastards. So they know that what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is wrong, and they're coppers. So I mean, literally, malfeasance in public, it is treason what they're doing. Yeah. Because all they're trying to do is like infiltrate a group, because obviously the cops are paid by the bankers, basically. Yeah. That's it. Just does my nut in.
That's why we just need to stop using their system as much as possible.
Yeah, we do.
Like when they're getting desperate like this, because they're getting so sloppy and they're coming and they're turning up with fake warrants and stuff. And they're all paid for by the bank, and the police are there, and the police shouldn't be getting involved in a civil matter anyway, because they're only there to keep the peace. But the bankers are even paying the police overtime to go and do it.
Yeah.
So they must know that it's coming to an end. They must know that their time is up, and they're getting desperate, like to do like seizing old women's houses and stuff. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah, what is the world coming to, as they say? I've got another article here on Cointelegraph saying US court overturns Tornado Cash. Sanctions in pivotal case for crypto. In a win for crypto privacy technologies, a US court in Texas has overturned Tornado Cash sanctions. The US court has overturned the sanctions against Tornado Cash cryptocurrency mixing protocol in a decision that could signal a shift significant towards more innovation-friendly regulations for privacy-preserving technologies. Not that Tornado Cash does that, because it's obfuscating it. The US Treasury's official foreign asset control originally sanctioned Tornado Cash in August 2022, accusing it of facilitating money laundering, which it was doing, by the North Korean Lazarus Group. The group was alleged to have laundered more than $455 million in stolen digital assets through the protocol. The sanctions led to the arrest of Tornado Cash developer Alexei Persev, who was found guilty of money laundering by the Dutch judges at Hertogsbosch Court of Appeal on yeah, I pretty murdered that, on May 14, 2024. Pertsev was sentenced to 5 years and 4 months in prison for laundering $1.2 billion in illicit assets through the platform. In a significant legal development, the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas has reversed the OFAC sanctions according to a Jan 21st filing. The court ruled it is ordered and adjudged that the judgment of the District Court is reversed, and the cause is remanded to the District Court for further proceedings in accordance with the opinion of this court. I mean, I don't know that I agree with that, because, you know, Tornado Cash is absolutely money laundering. You're trying to obfuscate where the funds have come from. Whereas you need, the whole point of Bitcoin is that you have a ledger technology that provides a track record of where everything's been and gone and come from. That's the whole point of having a ledger. You
need transparency. You need transparency. You need traceability, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it just goes to show you the amount of, like, you know, misinformation that's in the space and lack of true understanding. You know, I wonder what it's actually going to take. I mean, it still blows my mind that I seem to be the only individual, literally almost in the world that, well, apart from Craig, obviously, that's explaining it in an economic sense, as required to be used as money. You know, you need a transparent ledger for an honest world to run on. Well, this Tornado Cash just completely defeats the object.
Transparency needs to be able to scale as well. Needs to be economically competitive. What were the other two factors?
Economic competition, chain of digital signatures for common accountability. That's literally it for how it's structured. It's so simple. An economically competitive network that produces a chain of digital signatures, and then unbounded scale, fixed token supply, and a locked protocol. That's literally, it's crazy when you think about it. I was thinking about this just like earlier today. I was just like, is there any other way that I can simplify this? You know, like in terms of just like blockchain, it is literally, imagine a chain of transactions, you know, and you need to index those transactions somehow so that you can reference and find them, and so you just simply index them in a block. That's because you have to store these transactions somehow, you know, and that's literally all it is. So you have a chain of blocks of data extending from a globally distributed, economically competitive server network that therefore doesn't have any central point of control or failure. That's literally it. You know, it's so simple. I mean, it's so simple, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
you know?
it is. Well, do you know what? There's genius in simplicity, though.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. I mean, I'm not sure why. I don't know. Maybe Craig thinks it's too simple to actually even bother explaining. But from my point of view, I would say, yeah, people need to know that. Regulators need to know this. You know, to just see through all the BS. Yeah, who knows? But we've got here a BSV association at Davos. Did you listen to any of this today?
No, I've been very busy today. Busy, yeah. Very, very unproductive day, but I was busy all day.
Well, I listened to a little bit of this. It's a bit cringeworthy, really. The moment somebody, at Davos, one of these meetings, mentions fossil fuels, I'm just like, oh my god, are you still banging on about that BS narrative? Fossil fuels, where have you been these last 5 years? Have you been living under a rock? Everybody knows Rockefeller made that bullshit up. Oil is not a fossil fuel. It is organic. It is naturally occurring from the ground, like sap from a tree, like rubber from a rubber plant. You're never going to run out of it. It is not a fossil fuel. And the moment I hear one of these douchebags going, "Oh, fossil fuels," I'm just like, "Oh my god, you fear-mongering dickhead." You've not done any research whatsoever. And that's what went on today.
Maybe they just want us to think that it is still fossil fuels and it's rare, and it's like when you try and get a bag from Hermes, you have to queue out the door and you can't get one. To say, "Oh, we don't have them. We don't have them." It's artificial scarcity. So if you ever get one and then you put it on the resale market and it's like 3-4 times the price.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? It's the same with like luxury watches as well. They just create artificial scarcity, and obviously that's what they've done with the fossil fuels, and people fall for it.
They still talk about it. They still talk about fossil fuels. I'm just like, oh my god, change the record. It just makes them look really foolish and stupid in my eyes. A bit like climate change. It's like, seriously? Like the science behind climate change has been debunked so bad. It's just absolute BS. Absolute BS.
It used to be global warming, didn't it? And
it used to be global cooling. It used to be global cooling. Then global warming.
Period of cooling now. we're going through a period of cooling now. It was actually snowing in Pensacola today. 2 inches of snow in Florida.
Yeah, well, that's weather manipulation, mate.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. But anyway, I suppose it's still good as we've got the BSV association. BSV blockchain still kind of... it's the only blockchain that they've allowed there because it's the only one that works. So...
Is it on? Have they got a presentation tomorrow as well?
Good question. Good question. Not too sure.
Sure, the guys were on about it. They've got one tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I might sit down tonight and just listen to what they got to say. But first impressions when as soon as you're in a room and somebody mentions fossil fuels, this is like, oh my god. But either way, there's no other blockchain there, so that's a good thing. Just a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history. On the 22nd of Jan 2015 was day 6 of the Silk Road trial, where Ulbricht confessed to running Silk Road, and his college friends testified against him, saying that he did do it, but now he's walking free. He's having the last laugh, Let's have a look at some of these figures then. So do you look at these figures like these graphs on a daily basis when I go through them?
Well, yeah. Do you want me to give you my opinion on what's happened here?
Yeah, mate, go for it.
And it's just an opinion. So obviously we had a sustained period of over 80 million transactions per second.
Mm-hmm.
And that was for about 6 weeks or so. And then over Christmas, it went down to like 20 million for a couple of weeks and that. And now, what are we at now? Just over 1 million, is it?
1.2, yeah.
I think Terranode is imminently launching, and that's why the transactions are low, and that's why Craig hasn't tweeted for about 2 weeks. And I just think it's a matter of time before Terranode launches.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That would make perfect sense. That would make perfect sense. Whoever it was that was consistently processing 20 million transactions per second, maybe they're just like, right, okay, let's just hold off, make sure the switcheroo goes smoothly, and then crack on.
Yeah. And it's not like Craig to be quiet on Twitter for the last couple of weeks. I'm actually a little bit worried about him, to be fair.
Let's have a quick look. Twitter, I've normally got him on my top of the drop down list. Here we go. Yeah, his last post was Jan 16th.
Right. So
Yeah.
six days ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, if you could, I don't think you can. Can we have a look at the chart on what's on chain to see what the transactions per day were 6 days ago? Is that are we able to do that?
Yeah. So let me think. 6 days. Hold on a sec. I'm looking at 24 hours stats here. Actually, we might not be able to see that because all the transactions will be in blocks anyway.
Let me. Right, 1 week ago. Well, that's a total count 6 billion. No, I don't think they've got that chart. Not that from what I can see anyway. Never mind. It's just a theory. It's just a theory.
It makes sense.
Ah, here we go. Here we go. Right. So we are now. Yeah. So 6 days ago would have been the 16th. Yeah. And on the 16th, when Craig stopped tweeting, 22.5 million transactions.
That's
So
huge.
6 days ago, there's 22.5 million. Craig hasn't tweeted for 6 days, and now we are on just over a million. It's not by accident, that.
Yeah, certainly a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is going to be interesting because literally, as we all now know, Terranode doesn't have a memory pool.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is huge. So instant confirmations of transactions. It's going to be really interesting to see how the network operates now that there's no memory pool.
It'll be interesting to see how high the demand is when it initially launches.
And also, how's the block reward going to be won if they're not finding the SHA-256 of the first transaction in the memory pool? Because the coins still have to be distributed somehow.
Maybe they could do it. Could they do it with however much hashing power you've got? It's distributed amongst you percentage-wise, or is that not a fair way to do it? Or
You
is
would
that not
still have
possible?
to. So you would still need to find SHA-256 because
Right.
that's how economic competition is created. So, but usually the block reward is programmed into the first bit of data that enters the memory pool. So the moment the block header is created, that block header is then used to create the following bit of data that goes into the memory pool, and it's that bit of data that contains the block reward. So it will be really interesting to see how this works. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. If we can suddenly start using the Bitcoin blockchain in the same way that we use, the internet for social media, and start uploading video content, I'm really looking forward to that because now we've finally got a platform that can't be censored.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, library couldn't be censored, but they shut that down.
Was that not related to Odyssey?
Yeah. So that was another small what would we call them, crypto company. So yeah, Veritasium and LBRY, they shut LBRY down too, the SEC, because they had a video streaming platform and anyone could post anything and it could not be taken down. So obviously they got rid of them.
So has it been taken down?
Odyssey's still there, but there's no one working on it anymore. The developers, they had to abandon because there was just no money. I don't think it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, I've still got the app on my phone and it still works, but for all intents and purposes, the SEC finished them off.
Was that due to their library token?
might have been the excuse, yeah. But you could use that token on the platform to like watch videos and stuff, you know.
Should have used BSV
Yeah.
instead of creating their own token.
Maybe they'll bounce back and do that.
We've got a hash rate currently of 0.4% on BSV. The difficulty adjustment on BTC, we'll have a look at this. Still another all-time high for difficulty adjustment. The hash rate on Bitcoin, every time I think, oh, it looks like there's more competition jumping on the network, the hash rate doesn't actually really seem to move. Yeah. We've got 1.2 million transactions on the BSV network according to BitInfo charts. That's confirmed and cross-referenced with what is on chain. Transactions representing 75% of the overall across all the Bitcoin forks. We'll have a look at some of the blocks coming through. Tiny blocks at the moment. Biggest one here is 52 megabytes. Yeah, 52, 48.
Something's going on here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Something. We're the only blockchain at Davos. It's still 1 million transactions per day now. Craig ain't tweeted for 6 days. Yeah, there's a rabbit away.
Silence before the storm. Let's hope so. It's currently 101,000 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Gregcoin. Mining Bitcoin at a 10% comparable loss. Let's have a look at the mining stats, because that's where the politics is. Global hash rate 7 days, global hash rate 24 hours. Gregcoin hash F2 Pool suddenly come from out of nowhere. I haven't seen them for a long time. F2 Pool used to be the largest miner. Maybe they were locked down in third. Now they're second. Wow. So they've moved in front of Antpool and via BTC. Wow. There's no other miners on the network. There's Ocean, which I've not seen before. It's got 0.69. Wow. That's interesting. Whoa. Funnily enough, though, the global hash rate 24 hours has got all these mining pools on it, but they're not listed on. They're not all listed on BTC, unless there are some other specific miners that are only mining BCH, which there might well be. 2 miners, Peter Pool, CK Pool, OK Miner, Pool Moscow, and Binance on Bcrash. Other miners have still got 52.7. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? And we've got Bitcoin. We'll have to cross-reference that with what is on chain. Just 4 miners here, but QD Link at the QD Link 37, Kuv 26, Tal down at 19, Gorilla Pool 8.6, and others at 7.87. So QD Link taking the charge there. I mean, you would think, looking at the figures, that QD Link would have massively increased their hash rate, but when you actually look at the hash rate, it doesn't look like it's increased at all. You know, Crypto Quant, we've got the exchange. The exchange is still cashing out. The exchange's reserves going down and down and down. It still cracks me out every time I look at that. Just wanting to get rid of it.
I always listen to your shows. I don't watch them, so go back to that one, please.
Yeah. So this is Crypto Quant. I'll just explain it.
Right. Okay.
So what they're showing you here is the exchange's reserves, their liquidity reserves. So the exchanges use BTC as their reserve. So it means that if anybody wants to cash out on the shitcoins, because normally they cash out in BTC, they'll exchange the shitcoins or whatever it is for BTC, and then give the customers the BTC or cash the BTC out. But the exchange actually holds their own reserves in BTC because they consider BTC to be the Mac Daddy, and they consider that BTC will always be going up in value in comparison to these altcoins in the long term. So they're all holding BTC as a liquidity reserve. When they're not holding it, it means that they're starting to lose faith in it, and they're just like, well, actually, we think this thing is a load of shite. Therefore, we don't want it on our books because they're viewing it more as a liability than an asset.
Does that chart go back? Click on all time, please, on the chart.
All time. I think this
just on the top right corner there. We'll scroll up. Just on the top right corner there, it would say 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, year to date, all. Click on all, please.
Hold on.
Just across, a little bit further across, to the right, to the right, to the right.
Yeah. Scale,
keep
mixed.
Going. Keep
going. Here we go, all. Yeah, it's already on all.
All right, is it already on all?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Which is a bit of a shame. Year to date, all. Yeah, it doesn't really show you too much. We've got here from Jan 2025, going back as far as Jan 2022. So it's like 3 years it goes back.
All right.
I'm sure they used to go back longer than this, but maybe they just didn't want to show the charts.
It doesn't look like a very good chart, does it?
Yeah, not really, but I mean, it shows you what is going on right now. I'll send you the link actually. Here we go. That's the one.
Cheers.
So we'll just have a look at the short positions here. So we've got a short ratio of 0.3%. Nothing really to write home about there. We'll have a look at these exchanges. So Binance futures on BSV just 4.8 million. MEX is just 500,000. Indox though 89 million. Poloniex is 12 million.
Poloniex, they used to be an OG.
They did.
Yeah, that's when I first started buying crypto in 2015 on Poloniex.
Yeah, I see. I started doing the same. It's amazing how these exchanges like come and go, you know.
Yeah, Poloniex used to have a troll box. It was great fun when I was at work. Fantastic.
Oh really? Well, shitcoin is trolling each other.
Yeah, just everybody just trolling each other. It was class. Everyone just trying like bigging up their own bag. You know what I mean?
Yes, it's a shame we can't list these exchanges in terms of turnover and volume. But yeah, I mean, Poloniex. Oh, what was that last one? Zendexian. Oh, they're saying that there's no volume on there. But yeah, Poloniex and Indox. But I mean, Indox, jeepers, 89 million, and then Poloniex in second place with 12 million. I don't know how accurate this coin codex exchange is.
Let me just check CoinMarketCap for the volume. Right, so the volume on CoinMarketCap showing 55 million.
For which exchange?
All exchanges combined.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're missing out Indox with 89 million.
Obviously not taking it into consideration. And then if I look on the markets on CoinMarketCap, Indox, no, that's not coming up. That's not listed on on CoinMarketCap. Oh no, it is. Beg your pardon.
Indox.
No, it is there. But it's not saying 89 million, it's saying about 25 altogether.
Still quite a big volume. 60,944 BTC 24-hour trade volume. Bloody hell. These exchanges, it's just phenomenal. Like literally just a phenom, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember Poloniex being sold for like 400 million and then looking at 400 million in comparison to, you know, how much it would cost to purchase Newcastle United Football Club, and I was just like, oh my god. At the time, Polonius was actually valued at more than Newcastle United Football Club. You know, Premiership team.
That's a good comparison, actually.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you look at Formula One now with all the sponsoring that they get from Crypto.com, you know, and you've got Red Bull sponsored by Bybit, and then you've got McLaren sponsored by OKX, and it's just like, you know, these platforms make some serious wonga. Serious wonga. And they're all Ponzi scheming. You know?
And Crypto.com, they sponsor the, well, I'm going to call it the Staples Center, but it's not called the Staples Center anymore. Where the LA Lakers play basketball, it's called the Crypto.com Arena now, and it will be for, I think they signed a 20-year deal when they changed over.
Really?
That's yeah.
Wow. Is that the one that used to be the FTX Arena?
No, the FTX Arena, I think that was an NFL team. Could be wrong, I'm not sure. But because I thought it gave credibility to Crypto.com because I used to use it quite a bit. And then obviously when FTX went down, I was like, oh shit, well that credibility's gone.
Yeah.
You know. But at least Crypto.com is still alive.
Yeah.
Let me just check what the FTX Arena was. Miami Heat? Yeah, Miami Heat.
Is that baseball, basketball, American football?
It's NBA.
Right, got you. Right, just looking here at the tether weather. They haven't really done too much. A little bit of a pump just from 138.4 to 138.5. So 100 million gone in today. A little bit of a pump there. Bitcoin versus Gregcoin just trending downwards today by the looks of it. Yeah. Just cross-reference that with USD. Yeah, that's kind of going down. Orange Gateway, Bitcoin versus Gregcoin. Yeah, just confirming what we're seeing. A little bit of a pump going on right now at the moment. Plodding along sideways, not too exciting. Overall market cap $3.6 trillion. Blows my mind when I see that. Gregcoin at $103,000. Trade volume just 2.4%, representing 50 billion. The 140 billion of the Satoshi coins would absolutely crush that. Absolutely crush it. I'll find out where Bitcoin is. 87. 87. Good grief. But volume. So Zendexian, Live CoinWatch, I generally tend to think their figures are quite well researched. They're saying the Zendexian is leading in terms of trade volume. I would almost say it's like around 30%. It's huge, but not too much on the liquidity. Changely Pro, Hit BTC, XGO, OKX, Pinex.
By the way, HTX, that's the exchange I used to use for purchasing my BSV. They're not very good.
Really?
Not very good. No, one of my friends deposited some BSV to HTX, and it's taken like 48 days to confirm. I'm looking on what's on chain; it's already confirmed, but it still hasn't confirmed after 48 hours on HTX.
That is outrageous.
I know.
One might think there is a massive conspiracy against BSV with how these exchanges behave towards it, knowing how fast and efficient it is, and yet they try and pull stunts like this, trying to persuade people that it's slow and unreliable. Yeah. What a joke! What a joke! And they're listed here as like second in terms of volume. Ranking by Livecoin Watch. No way.
Getting them off HTX is absolutely no problem, but that's the first time I've ever seen anyone deposit there, and it's taken like 48 hours and it's still not there. But I can see them on the blockchain though.
Right, good. Yeah, there'll be more shenanigans to come, but I can't wait for the day when literally all these shysters bend to the will of the market, when everybody's going crazy. Get my coins on those exchanges now.
It'll be funny if the BTC maxis finally decide, oh, we're going to sell some now.
Yeah.
And they're all rushing for the exits, and the exchange will be like, I don't think so. We're going to sell ours first. You can sell them 20% cheaper in about an hour.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that's crazy. Right, mate. It has been a 1 hour, 22-minute show.
Before you go, we need to get the round table sorted. We've been talking about it for about 4 or 5 weeks now, so we need to get the round table sorted. Yeah.
Round table in terms of the boys in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Right, tell you what, stay on the line, mate. I'll just wrap this show up. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. That was me and Riley on Wednesday, 22nd of January. Hope you enjoyed the chat. So as ever, if you enjoy these updates, please ding all donations for your appreciation to either Satoshi at Simbi.com, Handcash.io, Simply.cash, Relasia.com, Rockwallet.me or Senti.ch. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. That's all from me and Riley. Be aware, take care, stay safe out there. We'll see you in the next one.